Hello, everyone. I'm delighted to be talking to you today, especially because I'm not going to talk to you about the problems that I'm addressing. You all know the problems. They're all around you in the media. The stats and data are out there. They're around you in your personal lives. I'm guessing most of you have watched Adolescence on Netflix. And so I'm going to talk to you today about solutions. 8 solutions that every single one of you in the audience today can implement. I'm going to talk to you about why we must socialize sex, female lens sex, and yes, I'm using that as a verb, the importance of communication through demonstration, how we can reinvent sexual aspiration, how we must equalize sex, support and fund the solutions, educate early, and educate through love. 17 years ago, I realized through my direct personal experience dating younger men that when we don't talk openly and honestly about sex, porn becomes sex education by default in not a good way. I decided something about this, and so 16 years ago, I put up a tiny clunky website at makelovenotporn.com that was kind of a public service announcement. Porn world versus real world. I launched Make Love Not Porn at TED in 2009. I became the only TED speaker to utter the words, "Come on my face," on the TED stage several times. The talk went viral as a result, and it drove an extraordinary global response I'd never anticipated. Thousands of people wrote to me from all around the world, young and old, male and female, straight and gay, and I realized I'd uncovered a huge global social issue. And so I felt a responsibility to take Make Love Not Porn forwards to make it much more far-reaching, helpful, and effective. And so I turned it into a business designed to socialize sex. I turned Make Love Not Porn into what we are today, which is the world's first and only user-generated, 100% human-curated social sex video sharing platform. We're kind of what Facebook would be if it allowed you to openly, healthily, socially, sexually self-express, which it clearly does not. The way to think about us is, if porn is the Hollywood blockbuster movie, Make Love Not Porn is the badly needed documentary. We are a unique window onto the funny, messy, loving, wonderful sex we all have in the real world. And what we are doing is we are socializing, normalizing, destigmatizing sex, making it easier for everyone to talk about, bringing it out of the shadows into the sunlight to promote consent, communication, good sexual values, and good sexual behavior. And importantly, we are doing that, solution number 2, through the female lens. The young white male founders of the giant tech platforms that dominate all our lives today, they are not the primary targets, online or offline, of harassment, abuse, sexual assault, racism, violence, rape, intimate image abuse. Therefore, they did not and they do not proactively design for the prevention of any of those things on their platforms. And we see the result of that around us every day. Those of us who are most at risk every day, women, black people, people of color, LGBTQ, people with disabilities, we design safe spaces and safe experiences, but we don't get funded. Only 1.7% of all venture capital last year went to female founders, and that is why we have still not seen how much safer, better, happier, and way more lucrative the future of the internet could be when it's designed and built through the female lens, and these are the 2 key words, at scale. I designed Make Love Not Porn through the female lens to be the safest place on the internet. I designed it around 100% human curation. There's no self-publishing. Our curators watch every video submitted from beginning to end before we approve or reject, and we publish it. We review every member profile post, every comment on every video before we approve or reject, and we publish it. You will find no trolling, no shame, no hate, only love on Make Love Not Porn. And the key point about that is, we are tiny, bootstrapping, have no money, and we've human curated everything for 12 years. Imagine what Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat could do with their billions if they chose to. Safety on the internet is not a matter of viability. It's a matter of will. And that is why the solution to what I'm talking about today, but also the solution to pretty much every single problem, is fund female founders. Thank you. So, I designed our revenue share business model many years before OnlyFans. Our members pay to subscribe, rent, and stream social sex videos. Half that income goes to our contributors, whom we call our Make Love Not Porn stars. And I designed Make Love Not Porn around my own beliefs and philosophies, one of which is solution number 3, communication through demonstration. What I mean by that is, don't say it, be it, do it, show it. And the reason communication through demonstration is important in this context is because I get entertained when people talk about watching porn. Nobody's watching porn, they're wanking. This is not content you watch, it's content you masturbate to that is designed to arouse you for that purpose. And what you may be aroused by, even if you don't think you like what you're seeing, is what shapes your sexual script. So at Make Love Not Porn, we are sex education through real-world demonstration. And because of that, we have a unique capability. We have the power to change people's sexual attitudes and behavior for the better in a way that nothing else can. So in the 12 years we've operated, we've shown countless young people that porn is not sex in the real world. We've made people feel better about their real-world bodies, because what people really find hot, attractive, and desirable in the real world is all of us. We've saved numerous marriages and relationships. That is how people write to us. You saved my marriage. We've inspired communications breakthroughs amongst couples. We've helped people manage their sex lives through real-world health conditions. We have Make Love Not Porn stars with vaginismus, menopausal Make Love Not Porn stars, cancer survivors, people with chronic pain conditions. We've helped parents educate their children. And this is really interesting because with any disruptive technology, use cases emerge the founder never dreamt of. So I was blown away when we began hearing from survivors of rape, sexual assault, sexual abuse. We hear from female survivors, male, trans, non-binary survivors. They tell us that Make Love Not Porn helped them reclaim their bodies. We help them feel able to be sexual again post-trauma in a situation where porn is way too triggering. And it's not just people who watch our videos. We have a number of Make Love Not Porn stars who tell us being able to share themselves sexually in a completely safe and trustworthy space has helped them process and heal from sexual trauma. I never thought of that as a use case when I came up with this idea. I'm obviously so happy it is. And here are some examples of what I mean by communication through demonstration. You know, this is a quote from one of our videos. I love this. Thank you for sharing something so intimate. Your sex is joyous, but the snacking, pets wandering by, messing around with the covers, stopping for a drink, choking on said drink, cleaning up with a t-shirt, yawning, are all what makes this so wonderful. Together with the loving foreplay and afterplay, this video is real-world sex couple goals. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is from a mother who said, for my 24 and 22-year-old kids' birthdays this month, I'm buying them subscriptions to Make Love Not Porn so they understand what healthy, happy sex relationships look like. And when you buy someone a gift subscription on Make Love Not Porn, you can send a message with it. Here's one of those messages to a young man, a boy. As mentioned in my letter to you, I found this TED Talk and wonderful that someone has created a platform that shows real sex by real people that is joyful, pleasurable, and loving. This site is called Make Love Not Porn. It's human-curated, not algorithmic, sex-positive, and models consensual, communicative sex and happy, loving relationships. Take time to explore, enjoy, and learn. Love, Dad. Honestly, I tell you, we choked up when we saw this from a father to his son. And then, this is from a sexual health educator for folks with developmental disabilities. A family came to me last year with their teenage son who was leaving violent porn on all their shared computers and needed help. It turned out he didn't like the porn he was finding either, but his reading and spelling skills weren't good enough to find what he wanted. I suggested that if you keep it in the bedroom, he'd get a Make Love Not Porn subscription to ensure he doesn't come across videos that scare him again. It's been a few months. Here's a screenshot of his email thanking me for your site. Thank you for all you do to make exploring sexuality and pleasure safe and wonderful for all. And here's another interesting example of communication through demonstration. Our real-world sex videos, tagged with condom hot, show you how condom wearing, creatively introducing a condom into the action, actually enhances sex and makes it great, not interrupts it. What all of this communication through demonstration is doing is reinventing what we find aspirational around sex, solution number 4. So another fundamental philosophy of mine that I designed Make Love Not Porn around is I believe that everything in life and business starts with you and your values. So I regularly ask people this question: what are your sexual values? And no one can ever answer me because we're not taught to think like that. Our parents bring us up to have good manners, a work ethic, a sense of responsibility. Nobody ever brings us up to behave well in bed. But they should, because in bed, values like empathy, sensitivity, generosity, kindness, honesty, trust, respect are as important as those values are in every other area of our lives where we're actively taught to exercise them. A young man wrote to us, "Your website makes me want to have sex in a more grown-up, honest, and respectful way." Our mission at Make Love Not Porn ultimately is to help end rape culture globally. Now, that may sound like a very big mission, but we have 12 years of proof of concept at a micro level. We help end rape culture by doing something very simple that nobody else is doing. We show you how wonderful great consensual communicative sex is in the real world. Our social sex videos role model good sexual values and good sexual behavior. And here's the key part: we make all of that aspirational versus what you see in porn and popular culture. One man left a comment saying, "This video makes me want to be a better man in the bedroom and in life." And what is especially noteworthy is I designed Make Love Not Porn to be fully diverse and inclusive, and we are. Our members, our Make Love Not Porn stars, are all ages 18 to 80, all races, ethnicities. We're a global platform. Male, female, trans, non-binary, straight, LGBTQ, asexual. But in the 12 years we've operated, we've discovered we are especially a revelation to men. More men, 18 and over, teenage boys, young men, older men, send us grateful emails, leave appreciative comments than anybody else. And by the way, women love us too, but this is especially noteworthy because we are something utterly unique that men will find nowhere else on the internet, which is a safe space where men can be and watch other men being open, emotional, and vulnerable around sex. You wouldn't believe the number of men who write to us and say, "I just watched my first video, Make Love Not Porn, and afterwards I cried." I've said for years, I wish society understood the opposite of what it thinks is true. Women enjoy sex just as much as men, and men are just as romantic as women. Yet neither gender is allowed to openly celebrate either of those facts. We would all be a lot better off if they were. I picked up a wonderful Twitter exchange a few years back between two men. The first man had tweeted, "I'm looking for some porn recommendations for a pretty weird kink I have. Hoping you all can help me. It's a fetish where someone loves and appreciates you for who you are and is loyal and decent. Hit a brother up with your hottest links, please." And another man replied and said, "There's a website called Make Love Not Porn where you can see real couples making love. It's pretty hot and real." I found a video where the woman actually said, "I love you," while making love to her man. Sincerely, I started crying when I heard that. At Make Love Not Porn, we are the antithesis of Andrew Tate. We are transforming boys and men. Thank you. Thank you. We are transforming boys and men through the power of love, intimacy, and human connection. Solution number 5, equalize sex. Because while we are enabling men to be open, vulnerable, emotional, romantic in a sexual context, we are giving women sexual agency. So this is a comment from a woman. I felt empowered and emboldened in my own sexual agency while watching this video. Thank you for this gift. We give women sexual agency to decide the kind of sex they want, ask for the kind of sex they want, have the kind of sex they want, have bodily autonomy, and take responsibility for their own pleasure and make sure that they receive it. Now, I had no idea when I began working on this that I and my tiny team would fight an enormous battle every single day, not even to grow Make Love Not Porn, just to keep it alive. Every piece of business infrastructure other tech startups take for granted, we can't. The small print always says no adult content. And that's all pervasive. I can't get funded. I can't get banked. Make Love Not Porn was just debanked 3 times in the past 2 months, which has got to be some kind of record. Every tech service I need to use for a video platform, hosting, encoding, encrypting, the terms of service always say no adult content. My 2 biggest business growth inhibitors are, number 1, payments. PayPal won't work with adults, Stripe won't. I have to work with adult-friendly payment processors who charge extortionate fees. And my second growth inhibitor is we are banned from advertising anywhere. We cannot advertise Make Love Not Porn on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Google, YouTube, Reddit. I ask you, look at what's on Reddit. We can't advertise there. X, we can't advertise on X. And so solution number 6 is support and fund the solutions. Because the answer to everything that worries people about porn and sex is not to shut down, censor, clamp down, block, repress. It is instead to open up. Open up the dialogue around all of this in the way that I'm very grateful South by Southwest London is doing here today. Open up to welcoming, supporting, and funding entrepreneurs like me who want to disrupt all of this for the better. And open up to allowing us to do business the same way everybody else does. Because when you do that, you completely transform the landscape of porn and sex tech. I like to repurpose in this context Wayne LaPierre of the NRA's infamous gun control quote. The only thing that stops a bad guy with a business is a good guy with a better business. That's what I'm doing. Thank you. And I believe that when you have a truly world-changing venture, you have to change the world to fit it, not the other way around. So this is my Make Love Not Porn product roadmap, and it's focused on infrastructure. At the heart is Make Love Not Porn, sex tech, but then I have an ed tech product, I have a fintech product, because I'm about building solutions to my own problems that everyone else can use. I have an ad tech product to enable us all to advertise, and I have an AI product that is an algorithm for consent. I don't have time to tell you about all of them today. I'm going to focus on the EdTech product because solution number 7 is educate as early as possible. Bitdefender did a study of 19,000 parents worldwide that identified the average age at which children stumble across porn online is 6 years old. That study is 12 years old, by the way. So imagine how much worse it is now. So from day 1 of Make Love Not Porn, parents and teachers began reaching out to me begging for the 0 to 18 and beyond sex education extension of what we do. So we are building MakeLoveNotPorn.Academy. This is what I call the Khan Academy of sex education. Because Khan Academy, the online tutoring platform, tutors on every other topic under the sun except this one. EdTech is exploding as a sector, not in this area. So we are building Make Love Not Porn Academy on the same principles as Make Love Not Porn. User-generated, crowdsourced, curated revenue share. Because I'm not about reinventing the wheel. This is an aggregation play. We are building the go-to global hub for the best of the world sex ed content that is already out there, but is being blocked, censored, and deplatformed everywhere as we speak. Our mission at the Academy is to help organize the world's sex education information to make it universally accessible and useful. That is a deliberate paraphrase of Google's original mission statement, organize the world's information to make it universally accessible and useful, because today they're not. The algorithm is biased, it's censoring. I hear from parents and teachers all the time they cannot find the resources they're searching for. And so We are aggregating all of that amazing work, the best of the world sex ed content, 100% human curated, humanized, vet every educator, every piece of content, make sure it's safe, we endorse it. And we are then making it easily accessible and searchable by age appropriateness. If you're a parent freaking out going, oh my God, my 6-year-old just asked me this, what do I say? We're going to give you the tools and content to have that conversation with a 6-year-old. Teachers with classes of any ages. We have lesson plans, curricula developed by amazing people. You can also search by cultural sensibility. We'll have Christian sex ed, Jewish sex ed, Muslim sex ed, and importantly, by personal comfort level. We are building the Google of sex ed. You decide what's right for your family, your classroom, your school. This is what Baroness Burton was asking for in her UK government independent porn review commission report that was released in February, where she said, there are a ton of reputable resources, but they're really hard for parents and carers to find and to identify which are reputable and provide credible, effective information. There should be an online space for parents and carers to access easy-to-understand information on how to talk about all of this. And by the way, UK government, I'm totally up for that hefty grant because I'm making this happen. But there's something very unique about what we're doing at Make Love Not Porn. There's a reason our name is Make Love Not Porn. We are all about love. We do everything through the lens of love. Make Love Not Porn, as it is currently, is love in action. And the Academy will be education through love. And the reason that's important is because today, children are growing up, living through screens as much as IRL. They are so awkward, because they message all the time, in real life, that social interactions become very anxiety-inducing. They are stumbling across hardcore, traumatizing porn at the age of 6. They are engaging in romantic and sexual relationships with AI chatbots that are completely friction-free, because a chatbot plays back to you what you want to hear. And what is being lost in all of that is the wonderfulness, the joy, the friction, the connection, the heartbreak, and the happiness of first love. And the way that that love manifests when you're old enough in sexual expression of love. I've been saying for years to parents, educate about sex as early as possible, educate about love. Love is such a foundational construct in our society. We leave it to popular culture to define. Don't do that. Talk about the realness of love in the real world. I discovered earlier this year there's an amazing organization in America called the National League of Young Men. It's a non-profit for mothers and their high school age sons, which is 14 to 18. And they have national chapters, they have chapters all over the US. And what they do is run events and programming designed to bring these boys up as fine, upstanding community leaders. The mothers of the Greenwich, Connecticut chapter reached out to me and asked me to come and talk to 50 high school boys about Make Love Not Porn. And it was great because they, it was at one of their homes, they fed the boys a pizza, put us all in the living room together, and they said, boys, we are closing the doors, we're going to another corner of the house, we know nothing. We hear nothing, we're not going to know anything about what, use this opportunity, ask Cindy anything you want to. And these boys were adorable. It was all about, what are girls like? How do I talk to girls? Do girls really like big dicks? My chancellor meant, no, it's not what you got, it's what you do with it. But, parents, do you want your children to grow up to make love, not porn? Or would you rather they grow up to make porn, not love? Because if you do not begin educating as early as possible through the lens of love, that is what is going to happen. Our global operating system is sexual shame. We can change our global operating system to sexual joy. So I've given you these 8 solutions that every single one of you can implement. I'm regularly asked, Cindy, how do you keep going through all of the obstacles and barriers you've faced for 16 years? And fortunately, the thing that most motivates me is the dynamic that I characterize as, I'm going to fucking well show you. You tell me it can't be done, I'm going to fucking well show you. Put a barrier in my path, I'm going to fucking well show you. Thank 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 you so much. Oh, guys. Thank you. But I have to tell you, I'm exhausted. I need help. I need two things. I need investors and I need donors. We now have a non-profit vehicle for Make Love Not Porn. You can help build the Academy with tax-deductible donations, government grants, foundation grants, family office donations, donor-advised funds. So please, the only thing holding me back from scaling everything you've heard about today is lack of access to capital. That is also what holds every female founder back, by the way. Again, we solve all of this when we fund the female lens. But I especially want to ask all of you, every one of you today can undertake most, if not all, of those solutions I shared with you. Please go out there and do that. Be part of the solution. Stop talking about the problem, make the solutions happen, and then all of us together, we can make South by Southwest London love not porn. Thank you very much.